Yes, peace and love, wonderful Black Hot Fire family. Welcome to the Black Hot Fire Network Rhythm Scoop Show. On yet another beautiful Friday, being the 11th day of the month of February, the year 2022. On a Friday, we like to take matters easy and you shall be letting us know how you feel about that particular one. My name is Spikes, alongside my co-host Kate and Zobi.
Yes, I karibuni sana this wonderful Friday evening, the
11th?
Yeah, the 11th of February, the year 2022, and of course we week down as we get into the vibes of the weekend, and we are looking forward to nothing but amazing vibes. And you did get to mention Cranium, right?
Yeah, Nigeria, but he lives in the US, so he's more of he has lived in the US for long, so their vibe and the way they look is totally different. But I guess the music is jamming.
Yeah, karibuni sana family, have fun and enjoy. Yeah.
Yes, karibuni sana, as you have heard from my co-host, and this is the Rhythm Scoop Show, another episode where we get to bring you positive vibes. And today, being on a Friday, we shall talk more about entertainment. Karibuni, my name is Katie.
And of course, on a Friday, we take you back a little bit into music. We do have a new project, visuals for projects out. This is Do Yourself by the one and only Burna Boy featuring Angelique Kidjo. These are really talented individuals. So we get into that particular one. Let me know what you feel about this particular jam right here. It's known as a Do Yourself by the one and only Burna Boy and Wizkid. Please, I hope that you get to like it as well. Yes, Angelique Kidjo, right there with Burna Boy. It's Angelique Kidjo's song, so Burna Boy was just featuring on the song. He's just right there, just trying to do it.
I don't feel the vibe.
For me, I think
I was trying to feel the vibe.
for me, I think it's a dope song because it's talking about doing for Africa. You know, The thing is, with Africans, we won't talk about the government, we won't talk about other people not helping us, but this particular song is talking about doing for self. If you're the kind of a person that is waiting for other people to do stuff for you, you're the kind of a person that is having the mentality of like, these people come through for me, they will do this for me, instead of doing for self, which is what Africa has done for a long time, and then you will actually bound for failure. And that is a kind of an awakening that Angelique Kidjo and Burna Boy are talking about on this particular song. So
don't you think they should have done the song maybe, okay, if it is passing the message to Africa, don't you think they would have used a certain language which everyone could have understood? Because me, I've not understood anything there.
The thing is when you do music with your own native language, you feel it more. For example, if you're for me, I do listen to Q music, and when I'm listening to a Q song, it hits different, and there is a way that you get to delve deeper
Luya music,
which is your loss. For me, I do know that they did it in their own music because maybe they first and foremost want the people of Benin and the people of Nigeria to get it fast. Burna Boy is an artist who does a lot of his music in Igbo and also Yoruba. For the sister Angelique Kidjo, she is from Benin, so in Benin I bet there are a couple of languages she might be using, 2 of them there, and I think they are actually doing well, because for Angelique Kidjo, she is from the older generation, and people used to listen to Angelique Kidjo when they were young. They probably, her music came out in the 80s, so people who were jamming to her music in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, right now they are an elderly generation compared to Burna Boy.
Africa, Burna Boy has called himself the African giant. That is for a reason. This guy delivers music. Like, when you speak in terms, he has done a lot, So I feel, yes, he has a huge crowd. He has attracted, like, I can say, like, each age. I don't want to say like the generation of today. Like, the message goes across. The music he has been releasing from ages. It is the message that goes from ages. It is the message that goes to, I think, to a certain period of people, to some people who are a bit elderly. But on this one, considering you're saying she's from way back, and it is a message to Africa, still I stick to, it's either they would have used English, as much as we know we're not promoting English, or Swahili, or maybe something else.
Burna
Just
Boy
some
does
pass
not
the
know
message in a
English.
very
I don't think Burna Boy
way.
knows Swahili, so he would not have used Swahili. Neither does Angelique Kidjo.
But
they do
Burna
not
Boy
know.
has sung in Swahili before.
They do not know. He has a Swahili song of
Yes,
this. He has a few
nice.
phrases of Swahili but not
They
sing a
can
whole
learn.
song in Yoruba. But anyhow, family, what I do
project.
think is
Take
that
time.
when you come up with music, if you are not an artist, you should not really get to critique a lot of work of art with a lot of harshness, because at the end of the day, it takes in a lot of work when you get
I'm not
to
criticizing them.
when you hit the studio. The thing is, when you have your own
I'm
song,
not criticizing
when you have your own
them.
song and Burna Boy comes and starts a song and say, oh, this song is work is like this,
She's
do like
just
this,
saying a
put
good
another song and say, Burna Boy, I want you to do a song like this. This is mine. And then this is yours. Your song is here. My song is here.
I'm not criticizing. I'm just trying to pass a message, because I've tried. Like, I was just the beat. It's African. These are African instruments. You can feel the African instrument. Yes, I can vibe with that. But what's the message? I'm like, what?
No,
The message
the
is
first
different.
time
The message is
the
good.
woman entered, I was like, what is
That's
happening?
Angelique Kidjo. That's a language of the West African people, and it's really
But
but anyhow,
anyway, it's a good music.
it's there.
I
I would
trust me,
say.
if I were to get
For
to the
example,
studio,
you see-
I would not disappoint.
You see, like when you're making, when you get especially work of art, when you go to a museum or an art gallery, you cannot just look at a piece and say this piece is really work, and then say they should have done it like this. Where is your piece? You'll be like, they should have done it like this, paint this thing like up here.
That was just my own opinion.
Anyhow, family, we are back with the Rhythm Scoop Show on the Black Hot Fan Network Media for the 21st century. It's always a vibe when you connect on this particular episode, on this particular broadcast, and get to discuss issues that have to do with arts, entertainment, and culture. And today we shall be doing just that and much more. So make sure that you do not touch that dial. Of course, you can interact with us on our social media platforms. We are always ready to engage with you. We are on Twitter, Facebook, and of course on Instagram at Black Hot Fan Network. For those that have been asking about the website, it's back up, and therefore you can get to find us also on the social network on the website, and also in touch with us even by shooting us an email, which is at blackhatfanafrica@gmail.com.
And you can also drink some fresh juice.
We would really love to hear from you as you drink your fresh juice as well. But anyhow, family, I want to talk about something that has happened with South Africa, because there has been one young entrepreneur, and of course he is someone who really has revolutionized how people communicate, or how people rather try to communicate. And I bet for Kate and Zombie, all of us at some point have used please call me. You know, it's a please call me back, call me back alert. Call me back alert where you want someone will to call you back. So there was this South African who really came up with that particular idea and sold the idea to Vodacom. Vodacom, of course, it owns Safaricom, it owns other different telecommunications brands.
Tanzanian.
Yes, and also even Safaricom that we have here, it's owned by Vodacom. So what did happen is that he was trying to call his girlfriend, but did not have a credit on his phone. That was way back in 2000. So he did not have credit on his phone. And so he came up with the idea, how about maybe perhaps someone sends a message like, please call me, so that if your girlfriend has credit on them, then they will call you back. So eventually he sold that particular idea to Vodacom. And what happened is that he was supposed to be paid some money because, you know, he comes up with the idea, this is a free service where it's a value added service where you do not have to pay for something to send a please call me. Of course, there is a limit. But what happens is that they later played him. You know, he was supposed to be paid the money, and then they took him wakamzungusha basically, and he did not really get his money. So he went to court and he sued the company, and he has been suing the company from one court to another court. And right now there was a point where one of the courts got to agree that he was due to be paid some money. And for him, he said that, you know, he was supposed to be paid money, a percentage of that particular kind of an idea, and he did not get that money. So I think about in 2017, the court agreed and said, you are owed some money and you are supposed to be paid. So Vodacom came up to him and said, we have this much money, will you take this much money? And he said, no, this is not the money I wanted, I really want more money than this. And therefore, so he went back to another court and another court. So he has been going around those courts in South Africa, really trying to get paid for this service, because it's used in South Africa. I bet it's used in Mozambique, it's used in many countries where Vodacom gets to operate. I even believe in Ethiopia they also get to use this please call me service.
We have please call me in Tanzania.
Yeah.
They probably only that you will have to figure how to get to send across a message. So right now
it's in Swahili.
Yeah. So right now this particular young man is known as Nkonsana Makate. Makate is credited to having invented the please call me functionality, a popular function in the mobile telecom industry, allowing users to use USSD even when they don't have credit to call the other person they need to call. So Vodacom has offered to pay Makate $3 million, but the inventor is demanding $1.2 billion in compensation, arguing that the figure constituted 5% of revenue from the group's $13.2 billion in revenue from the service in an over 18-year period. The court ruled for Vodacom to make a better offer. So in 2000 and
they
owe him a lot of money. So what is happening is they gave him $3 million. He said, no, $3 million is too little money. I need a better offer. He said he wanted to get $1.2 billion from them. If you get $1.2 billion on the continent of Africa, then your life is totally changed. Even for your not shillings, I'm talking about billion dollars.
Yeah.
Dollars, you know, you convert that, you multiply it by 100, if at all you're talking about, you know, it's crazy, but it's crazy money. So he is calling, he is demanding that particular money, and maybe perhaps they might up their offer and maybe give him maybe perhaps $50 million. And not many people I know with $3 million or $50 million, even for celebrities, the so-called celebrities. I do not know. Yeah?
They should make it tough.
I do not know. Vodacom has a lot of money.
Yeah, half
considering
a billion.
On
if
Safaricom,
they can't reach the target, then let them
they should do half a billion. They should at least do $500 million, but he's claiming for 1.2 billion.
But that guy was brilliant.
Very.
Not really. I think he found the idea and he took the opportunities. Like we have in M-Pesa, you know, for the guy that came up with the idea of M-Pesa, you know, he was Kenyan and he sold the ideas to Safaricom. And right now we do have M-Pesa even in Ethiopia and other different places. And for him, I think they gave him some cash offer. They gave him a big amount of money according to his standards then, and then he just took the money. And then from there, you cannot claim it any other thing.
He's South African.
No, he's Kenyan. The guy who discovered M-Pesa gave him a big, according to his standards, and then they gave him a big offer. But then from when they gave him a big offer, from there he was not supposed to demand any royalties or demand anything else. You know, they give you a one-time amount. This is what you have. From there, you can now leave. The idea will continue from here. But these are the guy from Vodacom. He had claimed he needed some percentage of the revenue that was coming in from that. I bet even a Safaricom guy, the M-Pesa guy, if that is what he did, he would have saved his whole the next like 3 generations from poverty. Because right now, if you get $1.2 billion, then your next generation and the other one, they are good. If you're good at keeping this money.
You know, it's the level of poverty in maybe in Africa that made such a guy made such an because if he wasn't poor, he wouldn't have rushed for that money. He would have sit down first and think about that.
Seek a better deal.
Seek a better deal. Because if he wasn't poor, I swear he wouldn't have done that.
You would have.
But again, I can say on my own side of opinion, Africans, maybe. I think we've seen it even us growing up. Like if you look at the resources we have, or let's say you come with a certain invention, from nowhere, you say that, you know, this other room can, or other the vacant room outside there can come up with a shop, or rather a mall. You know, you can create something out of it. You invent it, but for Safaricom, I understand is it fully owned by Kenya?
No.
So definitely it's being controlled by the Mzungu. So you have already bought them the idea. So I think for Africans, we used to like where we invent, rather come up with things. Then yes, we're seen superior in that particular. You're gonna be praised, rather known for some sort of shit, but you will not get a good, I don't want to say a ransom, rather, you know, profit of your share or whatever the idea we really created. It's always taken away, you know. So because we never knew anyone invented this. I thought it was Safaricom.
No, it's an individual. But right now on social on their internet on their internet they claim that it's someone different. They say it's a Nick Huggies and Susie Lonnie, which is a lie. It was actually discovered by a Kenyan man, a young person. Then they gave him a lump sum, and you know, from there, then you cannot claim anything from the company because you've gotten a lump sum, which is crazy money according to that day or wherever you might be at in life. But anyhow, we also do have a wonderful invention in Kenya, which is Fuliza. And I actually got to realize that for Fuliza, Kenyans borrow 1.3 billion daily.
A lot.
Like on a daily basis, 1.3 billion on a daily basis. So for whomever also came up with this idea of Fuliza, and you know, Kenyans borrow 1.3 billion, and of course they return it with an interest. It means like even if he was to be paid, maybe perhaps maybe a percentage of this money, then he would also be a billionaire, and you know, his life is sorted out. So what I'm saying is that on the continent of Kenya, we do have people who do have brilliant ideas, and most of the time you will find the corporates are taking advantage of them. One of them, like you did here, is from South Africa, and Vodacom. You can actually go back to court and claim. We also do have like the Fuliza inventor. And I understand right now Microsoft wants to start, it has already started an office, a development office in Africa, where young innovators from Kenya, from other parts, you know, the East African region can come to Kenya and also work with the Microsoft regional hub in Nairobi. So we shall be telling you a little bit more about that and what Kenyans or what East Africans can also get to benefit from that, a platform where they can bring their minds together in software coding, in developing a software and also applications that are targeted to solving problems that are on the African continent. We shall be going back to music.
For me, before you go, for me, you can say the guy, he has somehow encouraged people, you know, like to fight for their rights, because he has fought for his right, and finally someone has had him, you know.
So at least he has put up a fight, and the money will be coming, and that will totally change his life, you know. Right now, the people, even his family, will never even talk to him, or his family will
someone
never.
Else he would have given up.
Yeah, for all those years.
No, you're being taken this way.
So when this news come up on our TV that he has been paid this money, his family, even those who never used to talk to him here, like he has been paid $500 million, they will be calling his phone. They will be calling his phone. But anyhow, family, we go back in the music. This is one woman. This is More Than Enough by the one and only Aden Kule Gold. Like you had earlier, there's a new project from him.
Give me more night.
really jamming. The name of the song is More Than Enough. You know, you have to remember every other time that you wait.
Every day.
Yeah, and you need to repeat that to yourself until it gets to sink deeper. And of course, you will approach the day with a whole lot of more courage when you know that you are more than enough. You know that you cannot conquer the day if you woke up with a defeatist kind of a mindset. You have to tell yourself every other time that you are actually doing your best, and also you are bound to succeed in whatever thing that you want to succeed at, because manifestations are very, very important. Affirmations are very, very important. And when you affirm that you are more than enough, then eventually, you know, even the universe gets to affirm the same. But anyhow, welcome back to the Rhythm Scoop Show on the Black Hot Fire Network Media for the 21st century. We do have the one and only, the wonderful sister Lightbearer. Thank you so much for joining us. You say an Amani family, Amani to you too, sister. I hope that you are loving that jam as well. It comes from the one and only Again Cooler Gold, even as Katie works very, very hard to make sure that we go out of power here. We are still jamming. But like you know, I was saying a little bit earlier about Microsoft and of course the New Development Center. On the continent, what happens on the continent is that the continent is known to be consumer. You know, we are known to consume technologies from other parts of the world. For example, if an innovation comes from Sweden, it will be adopted very, very fast here. If an innovation comes from the US, from China, it will be adopted here. But I bet it's about time we as African people also get to wake up and, of course, you know, get to stand up and also get to make our own innovations. You know, stand up to make our own softwares that will and applications that will be used to sort out problems that are facing as other people. Because you will find, for example, if you go to Google Play Store and you're looking for the apps that are available there, you discover that many of them are foreign. You know, and you have 1 million people reaching 18 years. You know, every other year, for example, this year in 2020, we shall have 1 million people getting to reach 18, hit their 18th birthday. Next year, the same thing. So our population is really, really young on the continent of Africa, and it's a high time that we also get involved with developing solutions, softwares, apps, and other different platforms that can help us as a people. So recently there was the opening of the Microsoft Development Center, and you know, us as a continent, like I said earlier, most of what happens is that we really love to invest in research and development as a continent. If you come to Kenya and look at, for example, the next fiasco year, the budget that has been laid out, the allocations to things like research and development, it's almost non-existent. And you will find for other countries, maybe like Singapore, another country maybe like South Korea, maybe another country like Malaysia, and these other different countries, Japan. If you look at the level of attention and the budget that they also get to allocate to research and development, it's really, really big. So that is where we are lagging behind on the continent. I would say. I
wouldn't say we would. Actually, I think we will be somewhere, but still, I think we discussed this some time back when it comes to technology. Why are we behind? Why do we feel like, you know, we limit ourselves, or we have been limited? First, for me, I think we've been limited because I bet. I don't know how much loans have been taken to fund what, but I believe there's so many young youths who have different innovation, rather they want to start something, rather, you know, even have their own factories in Africa, just do something, you know, but you find that the funds, you know, that are supposed to be given to those youths, they're being pocketed. So tell me, how can I develop, how can I even if I want to, we were speaking of wealth the other day, how will I start doing something, or rather, you know, come up with a big company, or other multiples of them, and create employment, while I'm being denied the chance. So if I'm not Kikuyu, I can't put a business here. If I'm not Aluo, if I'm not going to this church, I can't go to this certain region. Like, there's limitation, you know. It's still not our fault.
You know, as much as it's not our fault, I would like to say that maybe we can do even much further without saying this has been done to us, this is being to us, this is being denied to us. Because, for example, if you look at people that have gone out there in the States, you know, most of them right now, not really, you know, there is a sizable amount of people that have gone to the States to study technology, to study things that can help the continent. But what happens is that there is also a brain drain. You know, when they go there, they study in MIT, they go study in other different institutions. They have really no interest in coming back and also helping up other setup on the ground. So you would say they are getting big salaries there, but not many of them have that patriotic kind of a mindset where you would say, let me also go back into Kenya because I've learned things from MIT. I know how.
We know. Okay, I'm not trying to like oppose the old object, but most of the people, why are people running away from the continent?
It's because the opportunities are not enough.
Exactly. And those opportunities, even if I were to create an opportunity, yes, I'm coming back to Kenya. Maybe the time I left, and this is what I'm saying, like we've seen so many Africans, by the time you're running away from home and by the time you come back, either the projects, the price of what you wanted to invest in some time back, it's double or triple. Why? Because it's owned by someone else. You know, no, maybe not the Uhuru, maybe you left. Now maybe it's some Zungu is controlling the whole project. You know, it's totally different. Like there's, I don't know how to explain the whole thing.
So what solution? What solution would you suggest we take? What solution would you suggest we take for Joby? What solution would you suggest we take?
Okay, the solution, because one, I think we've seen, if you go, let's say, I'll explain from what I see and the vision that's in my eyes, you know. We have the ghetto, you know. If you go to the ghetto, you have you've seen so many people who are talented. I don't need to have a diploma, leave alone those who have gone to study in US, some of them have gone to Egypt to acquire Oxford and whatever. Let's focus on those we have in the continent, okay? We have the people who are skills, you know, they have presented their skills, they have even been given opportunities to go see the president. How many people have you seen, or kids, go shake the hand of the president? After that you're told, oh, I'll help you do this, but you'll never see it. You'll never see it. So tell me, someone gives me hope for my own dreams, or tells you, you know, study up to college or university, after you're done with school, come look for me, I'll give you a job.
So solution,
you know?
another suggestion again, which solution would you suggest when it comes to making, you know, filling up the gap for
Africa
technology?
Okay, the solution for me is Africa should start first. You know, it should invest in its own continent, because most of the time we go look for these resources outside, you know. Like you've spoken of China, Japan. If I need a phone, I'll have to go to Japan. If I need anything, I'll go to, it's always made in China, made in Japanese, so made on where. Africa needs to, and I don't know how we can do it, because we have leaders who are so corrupt, you know. I think the only way is, you know, we start with what we have, the smallest we have. Let's be satisfied with that. And also, like we were speaking of language early in the morning, we've spoken of Swahili, you know. Finding solution of defeating the Mzungu first. That is the only thing I see.
According to this report, they are saying that there has been an African Development Center which was actually made in Nairobi, and there was also another one made in Lagos to also just spark kind of an innovation and something going on. But I would say when we look up to these big corporations, they are really not there to also get to help us a lot. I would say Africa should also be looking internally or inwards for solutions. Sometimes you would say, oh, we need a Huawei center to come up and research so that we can help the young people with great ideas to, you know, sort of actualize or execute these ideas. Or you want a Microsoft center to also come and actualize these ideas. It's very, very difficult. So they were saying now that in Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria, that is where they set up the African Development Center. And they also put in 10 billion shillings to go towards helping these centers and also getting to employ engineers and young people. And I've seen from these ADC, there have also been other young people who are modeling solutions, the same what the ADC is doing, making their own small kind of ADCs or development centers for themselves. And now having to bring in new talent and also sort of coach and mentor new talent, so that by the time we are getting to like many countries will also have been able to, you know, set up something going on for themselves. And also Africa, the continent, will be open up for trade, so that we'll have Botswana trading with Nigeria trading with Egypt, Senegal, you know, intra-Africa trade. So we would say we will have a market, we will have a big market on the continent, but what is lacking is the technology and also technical know-how. I know all these things go together. You cannot really talk about having big technology without having gone in steps. You cannot wake up today and have big technology and now sell it to the consumers. We have a big market for this technology, only that we do not have, you know, right now the required expertise for us to be able to, you know, launch big technologically wise. But
I bet if it's lack of technology, let's speak of let's say, I think we have teachers. Let's speak of teachers, maybe even ministers, those who have the list of information they have. Why not build a small foundation? Because I think that's the only problem we have. Selfishness. They are selfishness, you know. Africans are selfish, the leaders especially. Build a small foundation where you can share the whole idea, because it will take you nothing like an hour, maybe 2-3 hours a day for you to teach the young people what you want to build in your own continent.
Also, I think our education system is also problematic. But anyhow, this center was built up in 2019, but I was saying there have been other smaller centers that are being remodeled after this Africa Development Center. And I do hope that us Africa also does not get to lag behind, because when you're talking about technology, people do not think that you're talking about Africa. When you're talking about things like hunger, yeah, they will listen and know that you're talking about Africa. When you're talking about disease, they will listen and know that you're talking about Africa. But when you come up and I talk about real technology and innovation, people know, they switch off, they already know. Now you're not talking about Africa, you're talking about, you know, other different places of the continent. But I believe, yes, if people also focus on STEM, then it will be much easier for many people to also get involved with that. And of course, talking about STEM, we shall be letting you know about women involved in technology. And this is a day for them. It's a day for women involved in technology. And we shall be talking about the women in technology on the continent of Africa. But for now, we go back into the music. We jam to this particular beautiful song. It's also by the one and only Aden Kula Gold. It's known as Again. And it features Fotu Mara Diawa.
Tanu, Tala, Yorojana, Ale, Mason, Stegi, Man. Tala, Yorojana, Ale, Mason, Stegi, Man. You don't know me. I've been living for people for me. Such a shame I didn't get it sooner. But better late than never. Now I know there's freedom under me more. I'm a new man, forget what you know. Now I don't got my voice, I go talk my shit now. Deal with it, I don't answer to nobody. Time to leave, yo. Now me there on my company. Follow my little go. More than overseas. I know that I can count on me, yeah. I'm blessed with a day jare. See me and the first
And of course, that is a beautiful song right there once again. And I would say that, then Kula Gold really is putting on a wonderful one right there. And I do see he actually features the one and only Fatoumata Diawara, who is also really talented. And this is bringing together Nigeria and Ivory Coast. She is actually from Ivory Coast. She is up as an actress and also as a singer. And I think when it comes to West African music, I think it's really diverse. You know, you will have people like Sonny Jobate from the Gambia, and now Fatoumata Diawara, really coming out in diverse styles. And you know, we get to embrace West African music. I'm hoping that I myself personally can be able to delve more into West African music, get to find out more about these artists from West Africa. And when it comes to West Africa, these artists really take their craft seriously. When you look at their profiles and the way they get to arrange their work, you know, they are serious about music, and they take music for a career. And it was where people also come up in support of their African music. Yes, that was Fatoumata Diawara, and you know, she is really talented. She was born actually originally from Ivory Coast, but she is Malian. It is same. She is African. I mean, let's not say she's Ivory Coast or she's Malian. She's just African from West Africa. And the vibe on that particular jam is really wonderful. We get back into the conversation. We should also have news and updates from Kate and Zobi. But before then, I had hinted that it's the International Day of Women in Science, and this is the 11th of February, the year 2021. What has happened in most communities is that women are denied the opportunities for education. And there is also stereotypes against women getting involved with science courses or the science fields. So you're told if you want to be a chemical engineer, no, that will not help you much. Just go try do a hairdressing course, try do a beauty and cosmetic. If you want to be an aeronautical engineer, no, you don't want to fly in planes. That is the work of men to go do that. If you try any other kind of science oriented kind of a course, or even kind of from school where you're supposed to be getting all this kind of a support for you to be able to pursue that. But yes, there are women that have, of course, conquered, and they have been able to get involved with science and technology, and they are doing very, very well for themselves. Like I had earlier on of a woman who is a neurosurgeon, and this is in one of few neurosurgeons in Kenya or even in East Africa when it comes to fields like this: neurosurgeon, cardio surgeons. People do not want to get involved in these particular fields because they feel like it's hard, or even these fields are also expensive and difficult. I think also the government should sort of minimize all, what can I say, the fees for these courses. They should sort of subsidize or make sure that they are also catering for some of the expenses for these women and girls who have shown a keen interest in pursuing courses like that are considered to be the domain of men, and therefore that is the only way I believe we can actually forge ahead in terms of developing as a country. We cannot develop as a country when we sideline women and say women cannot be chemical engineers, they cannot be electrical engineers, they cannot be this and that because of that particular kind of stereotype. I don't know your thoughts, Kate and Zobia, on this matter.
Get out of here. What are you talking about? So, it's true. People should need, we need to embrace the women in technology, because when you speak of technology, it includes all this, engineering, mechanism, and all that. So, we lived in Africa, you need just to study, get to a certain point, get married, you're a housewife, and that's it. You no longer have to experience life, you can't work and all that. So, for me, I think they should be given the chance, and people should change their mentality and stop criticizing.
There's some works, if you're a woman, you go to, or you say you want to do this work, people will be like, hiyo ni kazi ya wanaume, that work. So we should stop passing those stereotypes because they are not true. No work is for a man and no work is for a woman. Work is work. If it's hustling, usichague pesa. Like if you get that world, it won't write itself. So people even the government should allocate proper funds to fund this type of people who are coming and saying that we want to venture in science and learn and study about this, because it is not you don't find so many people doing that. So if a person comes and tells you, I want to do this, help them. The government should be allocating funds to these sectors.
And that is true, because I do believe at the end of the day there has to be also inculcating women, or actually bringing women on board when it comes to these particular courses. And you're saying, call me, that song is jamming, let me call you up. And of course we shall be taking another short music break, but when we come back we shall be talking more about some other news and updates. We also do have Kate and also called Kids, and as we get to more updates. Big mood, and of course on Fridays people also want to have a big mood as they get into the mood of the weekend, which is
mood.
Really,
the name of the song is Mood.
It's Mood?
Not big. It's Mood.
Oh, okay. What is actually Big Mood to discuss different issues with arts, entertainment, and culture, because at the end of the day, we are the people that are involved with culture a whole lot, and we want to keep on doing that, and we do hope that at the end of the day we can also get to elevate people's minds with the information that we share right here on the Black Hot Fire Network, media for the 21st century. And also, if you would like to interact with us, find us on our social media platforms. We are on Twitter, Black.
I wanted first to start by celebrating this one guy who has been in the industry for so long. And it's not because people are celebrating him, but because I think I've seen, we were talking of wealth the other day, and I said that one of the celebrities that I think talks sense and she makes sense is Akote, and this because as kids, which I can say we are the same age, you know, like, you know, you can see how she's been nurturing them, telling them how. I just hope if he gets on the seat, he won't change and become like the rest of the politicians. That is all I can say. But on other matters,
before you leave, I heard what he did was that he has been getting attacked by VDJ Jones, because VDJ Jones said that for him, he refused to support Gengeton artists. He said that Gengeton music is going to die, and therefore he will not play any music of Gengeton on his radio stations. And therefore he was told by VDJ Jones. He was told by VDJ Jones is that the same people you refused opportunity are the same people you'll be meeting on.
It comes to matters of entertainment, and I think we were discussing even that yesterday here. I think the Gengeton Artists Act, sana, they need to like look at the message you're giving to people. So there's no need to expect someone like Jalango. Jalango is a bit elderly person. There's no need to expect Jalango to play Atiwamlambe's Kiswanandri Dama, all that.
And now they say, because they say if he could not support them when they needed him, then he will atawapata kwa ground.
Oh, yeah.
So we will watch and see.
I understand both sides, because okay, if you don't support me, why I need me to support you? Then I also understand
online. Then you expect, so because you hate kids, you expect me to also hate kids.
He actually
because
did
you
it.
hate
It's on
kids.
partial. It's on partial. That is why he took the news to. It's on partial. He told him, the same way you couldn't support these young artists coming up is the same way you'll need them on the ground. They'll not be there to support you. The opportunity will give you a hope.
My point was, me, I'm just proud of the journey. I've seen him, you know, and people, you know, the young generation. The problem with the young generation right now is that, and we have been speaking of this, you know, people want things easily right now because you see social media gives it.
Anyhow, family, we also do have news and updates from our
I was not done. That was some positive news. We just wishing Jalamo.
Yes, sir.
First of all, calm down.
About Kenya being funded 800 million by the UK government to plant trees, and I'm just asking myself how. First, we've seen how Africa has been cutting down trees. Then right now, okay, poverty might have led all this because most of them they cut down. I don't know if you guys. Right now, I do not understand why we'll keep on piling loans. The other day we saw Kenyatta International Airport is under a loan. Right now, the Huduma centers want to be closed because of a loan. Even trees, planting trees which come from Africa itself, are also like we're going to such a sense.
That's mad.
It doesn't make sense. It is totally madness. You know, those are the news that I heard. So
okay, and for me, I'll still be in Kenya. Talk about Kenya. Have you heard about the budget?
Yeah.
And if you're given, like, for me, if I'm given that type of a car, I'll like, people will even praise me because I have a big car, a heavy car. Now they were saying it needs 47.7% increase to cover costs such as 300 million Kenyan shillings for the purchase of new presidential cars. You see, if you are talking about technology, they have not budgeted anything for
exactly, that's what
yeah.
Now you're getting what we were talking about.
Have not allocated any funds to that
exactly
sector. Now they want to badness
and taking loans. You buy new cars and you're taking loans. These leaders, they really play.
Because a lot of fuel was being used, a lot of money was being used in buying these German cars.
Isn't the same president on the seat?
He's the same one. Talking about now,
What
it needs
has
more money.
changed
It needs
now?
more money. So I'm just wondering from what you. And now, right now, the state house car budget has increased from 10 million to 290 million. So they just want to pocket this money. They are trying to
Because
please the
they
country.
get
What
out
is
of the
remaining of
state.
what is remaining in the public? 98.9 million. They are saying other operating expenses allocation has now seen an addition of 1.05 billion to the 1. And as the President Kenyatta-led administration wraps up his stint ahead of the August poll, the fuel allocation has also been increased from 25 million to 98.9 million. So what they are doing is that the way you have like a dying horse, like a dying horse dies, but they are pocketing this money, which is from 10 million to 300 million. That is 290 million. 290 million. They will. This is money being squandered. And I think for the lawyers, I know Omukia Omutata, who is the one who is always speaking out for the people.
Alright.
Yeah. I hear you. Go on.
What? Yeah, tell me again. what are the parliamentary salaries in Kenya?
They are
So almost close like you. Tell me what it is again in American money.
Let me see.
Well, how much do the parliamentarians make in Kenya?
Let me get these right so that you can see the Kenyan $58,000 196. This is according to an analysis. They get 58,000
a year, right? A year?
Yeah, 58,196, which is an annual total. I'm not sure whether this is at the net or the gross, but they say the monthly salary of an MP is
Paying MPs $58,000 a year, which is absolutely insane. And I don't know how many MPs they got. The parliament is huge in Kenya. I don't know how many in there, like how many parliament, how many people in the parliament.
In Kenya Parliament. Because what they do is that apart from this money, which is now their salary, they also get involved with corruption, so that the money that is supposed to go to the constituencies, there are actually 349 members of parliament. 349. I'm not sure whether I think we lost our kid, but we do have about 349. These are the members of
349.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So understand what the European did when they put the government is too big in Kenya with these fucked up loans and stealing from the people. It is a massive mess. Somebody had to come in and they would have to do it Magufuli. They had to come in and just start firing people. The government is too big. It doesn't make sense to be that big in a developing country. Crazy.
What happens?
All the money's being stolen from the people.
Or to develop.
Set up a completely dysfunctional government. Government is too big. It doesn't do what it's supposed to do. And the idea you would have women are better in technology because they multitask. But a woman's brain actually works faster than a man's brain. But since the European has made a male-dominant society, he hates women. He hates his woman. I mean, knowing, shout out to Paul Kagame, knowing that women think better and faster than men. That's why Rwanda is mostly governed by women. Women multitask better than men. It's not my opinion. It's a scientific fact. Women's brains work better than men's. But since you get a European who thinks left brain, he doesn't want his woman involved. That's why you got to fake. Even in religion's all man shit. A father and son are Holy Ghost. Shout out to Dr. Newsome does that right. Women make society run better because their brains work faster. That's scientific. But the European doesn't work off size. He works off dominance. So he's giving it to African men who've now negated his woman from society. Oh, you must shut up. You must. The woman's brain works faster than yours, stupid. That's a scientific fact. You can look up in your computer right now. Who multitasks better? Female or male?
It's a women who do that.
It's women. Because a woman's mind works faster. It's just a scientific fact. You know, how the woman can't do this, the woman, how can you ride a bicycle? You hurt your lady part. Oh, come on, lot of shit.
That was a Kitty's bike. That was Kitty's bike. And I see Rwanda. Rwanda is the country with the highest number of women in parliament. They say Rwanda has 61.25, Cuba has 53.22, Bolivia has 53.08, the United Arab Emirates has 50. But when you go to Europe, the country with the highest number of women in parliament is Sweden with 47%, which is even below United Arab Emirates, which is crazy. I thought United Arab Emirates has men, but I see they have 50% of women in parliament, and it's more than Sweden. But you will find the Swedish people saying that the Arabs are doing wrong to their women and they are not giving them opportunities, while the highest country is Sweden. Sweden has 47% of women having these positions in parliament in both houses. I'm not sure whether you can hear me, but I think we having a bit of a hit right there. This is a rhythm scoop show on the Black Watch.
I hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so I was just saying that the highest country in Europe is Sweden with 47%, which is even lower compared to the United Arab Emirates and also Bolivia, Cuba, Rwanda. Rwanda has the highest in the world with 61.
I've already told you.
Yeah.
fucking racist woman. You ain't women. Still culture.
Yeah. But they talk about equity.
I told you, stay with them.
They are the ones that talk about equity and equality the most. You know, the whole day they're talking about equity and equality.
Yeah.
Equality and all these other values, you know, trying to be the moral compass of the rest of the world. But look at their actions. You will find that their actions do not also.
Yeah. Look, not what they say, what they do. Every religion they got is based on a man. A man can't be your God because a man can't after the woman. The woman is first, so how can a man be the God? See, that's just common sense. Can't be married. It can be a man and a woman, but they all be born. It couldn't be fucking man. A man can't be born without a woman. And when a woman didn't come out of nobody's fucking rib. All this moronic ass shit.
Tell that to the Christians.
The woman scientifically comes first. She's double X. You can just do, if I'm basing, just based it on science. The woman, the black woman is double X. The black man is XY. That means I have less genetic material than she has. So that means she's more superior than me. That's just a fact.
The XX and the XY.
Because you can't get more from less. That's why a woman can never came from a man if you know science. That way she be taught science. You never can get more from less.
True.
So a woman couldn't come from a man because a woman is more than a man.
You cannot have the XY coming from the X.
Can't get more from less.
I agree.
Exactly right. You can't XX come from XY.
It doesn't really get to add up even biologically speaking. Sister Michelle, you're saying good morning. Good morning to you too, Sister Michelle.
That's why they use the black woman's genes. That's why they use the black woman's genetics to kill everybody. They don't use the black man's genetics. They use the black woman's genetics to let these crackers and Asians live. They get the black woman's genetics.
They also took.
They know who's the genesis of everything.
They also took from Henrietta Lacks and used it for their technology without any consent.
Billions of dollars.
I saw them on a
That's a certificate.
Giving them. I saw an image the other day of the family of Henrietta Lacks. Their offsprings. Let me see.
That's a certificate, Mike.
Yeah.
A certificate.
Family with the UN.
The cure for Europeans and Asians, they ain't never gave a family nothing but they gave a certificate now, huh?
The WHO, these are WHO Secretary General. I saw him with the family, and I saw him handing over a certificate, what I presume to be a certificate. That is what I saw on the photos with that event. That's the end. Lawyers last week out at the federal courthouse in Baltimore, and they were claiming, let me see how much money. Okay, on Wednesday, 70 years, okay, during the ceremony, Terry Baptist, let me see what they got from this UN Secretary General, because they had a meeting with him, and what I did see, the UN director, sorry, the WHO
They got this certificate and said kick rock.
They got a crack pipe and some condoms. That is what they got from
they got a crack pipe. But they stopped that now, Spike. They stopped it because people are so appalled. They're going to get black people crack pipes and free crack pipes and free condoms and call that racial equality. You know how disrespectful these crack pipes. Nobody smoked crack in the black community 30 years. Crack pipe. And no one was giving the odds by the CIA. They began to try to destroy us over here. It makes billions of dollars, every trillions of dollars.
Your voice is, we cannot really hear you. Your voice is bad. Your audio is bad.
Yours is too.
Okay, but I can hear you.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like I told Joe B. Katie, there's no such thing as death. So they found out with this woman's genes that her genes never die. They just reduplicate themselves. It's like, goddamn, this black woman's genetics doesn't die. So what's in them obviously they're powerful. We can use that to heal crackers, heal Asians, heal East Indians, and give her family a plaque. Here you go, niggas. We make trillions of dollars. Here you go, take this plaque. And go away.
I see. When she died, she was only 31 years old, but she says that over 50 million metric tons of HeLa cells have been distributed around the world, forming part of 75,000 studies. So her HeLa cells, the HeLa cells have been distributed. About 50 million metric tons of HeLa cells have been distributed around the world, and what they got is recognition. You know, they were saying that in the
imagine that, Spice.
Yeah.
No. How Spice? That's one black woman. Her cells have been that many times. One black woman cells. One black woman. One African woman has generated that many treatments for all these other people. That's why the black woman is the mother of everything. And she's in a goopy ass church worshiping some ridiculous made up ass cracker or some ridiculous mosque working some made up ass Arab motherfucker. It's absolutely insane. And that's why black women are kept out of science, because you've been able to connect the dots.
And they're saying that the HeLa cells, let me just read this. The HeLa cells is an immortal cell line. It is used in scientific research. It is the oldest and the most common.
Like I get immortal.
Yeah.
Immortal means what?
Never dying. You know, it's never dying. If you're immortal, then you're never dying. It's like yeah.
Still being Katie never dies.
This goes hand in hand with the Hydra vulgaris. It goes hand in hand with the Hydra vulgaris.
I'd rather have Hydro cells fight than the Hydro shit.
The Hydra vulgaris that they were putting on these the
vaccine.
Yeah, the cells
in the vaccine.
Yeah, they say the cells from a large cancer as a cervical tumor were taken without her knowledge or consent, which at the time was common practice in the United States at the time. So they took it without her consent, but they made all these billions from her. And really, then they give the family a certificate. And
understand? Let me say something. It is commonplace all over the world. Ain't no cracker don't know that the African woman is God on the planet. It wasn't just done in America. It was done in Africa, in the colonial times, in the Caribbean, in South America. Everybody knows the black woman is the closest thing to God, but the black woman.
It's true. I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, that's the one. Henrietta Lacks is the one we know of. It was taken from Kenyan women, Nigerian women, Colombian women, black women that is, Brazilian black women. Shit.
And you remember when you did have there was a statue that people were claiming should be removed of that gynecologist, the father of gynecologists. I am also presuming during that particular.
Yeah, I told you. The white man from New York or some shit. Yeah, I told you those African women. African women is the reason. African slave women in America is the reason why you got gynecology around the globe. The torture of African women. Torture them. Putting all kind of crazy shit into their damn vaginas, ripping their ass apart. Just how wicked this beast is.
And they really haven't changed. And as though you were saying, the same thing was done when they forced sterilization on black women like my grandmother. And I believe it's still going on. I don't think they would have stopped, doing these things. You hear about record numbers of women going missing, and these women are never to be found again. What is
exactly where it's fine.
Yeah, you already know whether they have taken them and are using them for these tests as well. That is a thing.
They know that the black woman's genetics is the best genetics on the planet. So they will always kidnap black women, always do experiments on black women, because they're trying to learn how to become immortal. So in the physical. And so the black woman's genes, which do not die, the body dies, but her genome will not die, because black women and black men are immortal. These are facts. So when I tell people, they go, "Oh, crazy, how can you say that, King?" Because I know science, stupid. You know superstition and retarded shit.
Jumping on the crates. People know.
You know, goofy superstition. You are as I showed Katie yesterday during that show and doing Manila, and the guy on the right side just showed the body is light. That's a fact. You're a light being. That's what you are. You are an immortal being, African people. Sorry. I know it goes against your Allah and your Jesus talk, but that's a scientific fact.
True. And so you're saying that Joby has barbecue sauce on her nail tips. No, she doesn't. She doesn't have barbecue sauce on her nail tips. That is not...
chicken. She's got chicken grease on her lips. Though. She washing it down with something. She's drinking some kind of juice. It's mighty delicious.
That is not barbecue sauce on her nail tips. Triple K, there is no comment on that. There was same thing was done when they forced realization on her men, and she keeps testing them. No, but anyhow, family, we're almost coming close to the end. But I do know that for a fact that these women that go missing, and even on the continent, you'll also hear people missing, and also children going missing.
Always black women in America, on the continent, in South America, always the black women gone missing. How convenient. I think it's like 200,000 black women in America alone, Spike. Every year, 200,000 black women go missing in America.
Yeah, and also the children that are getting put on the plane to be taken from Central African Republic to be taken to France. They're also being taken for the same purpose.
And they don't know how them babies got on the plane. It's a mystery. They told us we don't know how these babies are back here.
They didn't even know
how these babies get. Who threw these babies on the plane?
The pilot was even shocked. He didn't know of anything to do with. He didn't know what he was carrying on the cargo. He actually just to go to be shocked.
Right. Babies make a lot of noise. They cry. They hungry. All that damn racket babies make. I'm shocked. All these babies get on my plane.
He was just as shocked as the police that busted him. He was just as shocked because he didn't know of it. He was just as shocked.
I'm shocked.
And that is why we do hear about people trafficking, and when this happens, most of them are also being taken for these purposes. They are
African people, you must understand your medicine. You're a godly people, and you don't know that. You're a very special people, African people. You're very special people. And it's so sad that you've been indoctrinated, that you don't know how special you are. You're very special people. I mean, you're magical. And that's a fact. And you don't understand, if you learn these things as a child, you are a goddamn God. It's so damn crazy. If you ever was learned the truth as a child and grew up knowing what things you can actually do, it'll blow your damn mind. But since we're uneducated, miseducated, we don't learn this shit till we old. We got too many bad habits. I'm sitting there talking, drinking my Sprite, so damn Katie ass.
Katie is also having a juice. I do see from the statistics, they say, according to the National Center for Missing and Unexploited Children, the estimated 613,000 people reported missing in the last year in the USA. About 60% were people of color. They were black people. Although black women make up less than 7%. They say although black women make up less than 7% of the U.S. population, they represent about 10% of all missing persons cases throughout the country. The estimates by the Black and Missing Foundation put the total number of disappeared black women and girls at 64,000. So I think that was in what year was this? Was this last year or last year? But let me see. They say it's about 64,000. It's about 64,000.
Every year. And it's about the number doesn't change, but it's about the same about every year. So how the hell are 64,000 women just disappearing every year in the United States? How's that possible? Because they're being trafficked. They're being taken. And let me make sure that you understand this clearly. They've been taken for the adrenochrome, which they're not trying to say, these are conspiracy theories. Everybody said they know that these crackers drink our blood. They taking your gland. Your pineal gland is the seat of your soul. The pineal gland houses your soul family. The thing that splits the right brain and the left brain, pineal gland is where your soul sits. That's the seat of your, now I knew, when the ancestors were saying, I didn't understand it. I know that's the seat of your soul, that houses your soul. The pineal gland. That's why the pineal gland produces melanin. Your pineal gland makes melanin. And that's where your soul sits, African people. In the center of your brain is where your spirit and soul lies.
Yes, indeed.
And so that's why when you sun gaze, it raises the vibration through your pineal gland, because your soul is housed in that pineal gland.
No, I'm saying yesterday, I think on Kitty's or Lazobi's show you were playing Dr. Laila Africa, and he has it right in terms of melanin and the things that melanin has enabled black people to be able to accomplish or be able to do, because it sets us apart. As a people, the melanin that you do have, and of course you also melanin in everything, and I also did say melanin is the only thing that can be in two places at the same time. And I was asking the other day on this.
It's interdimensional.
Yeah.
You're interdimensional. Melanin is the only thing that can be two places at once. That's a scientific fact. That's why I say you're interdimensional. You're the interdimensional being. That's what you are. So that scares you. You're interdimensional.
We were saying the other day that with these whole Valentine shenanigans, some men or some women are trying to be at 3 different places at the same time. People who do have different people, they're telling them that they are loving. They try to be in 3 different or even 5 different places. You might have one man with like 6 baby mamas, or like have one.
I'm not talking about no bullshit where you scamming on some girl and shit.
No, I was just saying that it's a meme going around. People are trying to figure out how to be different places.
Are you scamming on some dude?
But so you're saying my soul sits on a whoopee cushion. Well and good for you, brother.
Must be nice.
It must be nice. Your soul sits on a whoopee cushion, and that is melanin, and the pineal gland right there. You might be giving your pineal gland gland a rest. That is why it's, your soul is sitting on a whoopee cushion instead of.
Before you leave, Spikes. Before you leave, say what? Because the white man's pineal gland is calcified, right?
Yeah.
He didn't know the benefits. Now they do. So what's the benefits of a functional pineal gland?
Let me see the benefits.
That's why you're interdimensional African. When your pineal gland is clean, drinking water, not fucking up with spikes like my stupid ass.
Happy birthday in advance.
Yeah, it's like whose birthday is it?
So.
This is the main function of the pineal gland is to receive information about the state of the light dark cycle. They say the main function of the pineal gland is to receive information about the state of the dark light cycle from the environment and convey this information to produce and secrete the hormone melatonin. So it produces
melatonin.
Yeah, it produces the hormone melatonin. And also saying what happens, the pineal gland is activated. Indirect sun exposure. Indirect sun exposure is essential. Your eyes need indirect sunlight exposure to function correctly. Both the sun and the darkness activates the functions of the pineal gland. And that is why you need to do the sun gazing, I understand. It has a photoreceptor that receives light signals, causing it.
The sun gaze.
Yeah, it has. It has a photoreceptor that receives it.
What it does, that's why, what is parasites, how white people take it and make it evil, that's the all-seeing eye. Which means you were able to look in other dimensions when you raise your vibration. The cracker is now taking that and called it evil Illuminati because they can't do it. It was called the pineal gland was called the all-seeing eye. Can you see that? It's an actual eye within your brain, but it's an eye that looks to other dimensions because it has an eye. So you're able to, when you raise your vibration, the African can look at other dimensions. Tell the past and go to other dimensions.
For the Muzungu,
African is an awesome motherfucker.
For the Muzungu that has a calcified pineal gland, they're saying if the pineal gland is impaired, it can lead. If the pineal gland is impaired or calcified, it can lead to hormone imbalance, which can affect other systems of your body. For example, the sleep patterns, and is often disrupted if the pineal gland is impaired. This can show up in disorders such as jet lag, insomnia, and many other effects that will come up from a hormonal imbalance, because the melanin also balances your
Hey, you know what else leads to spikes?
Yeah.
You know what else leads to spikes? You know what else leads to?
What does it lead to?
Psychopathy.
Yeah.
Psychopath.
Exactly. I agree. That would explain a whole lot, because of these impaired calcium pineal issues. They are
exactly right, Spike. They don't make melanin.
Yeah, so
they don't make melanin. They're white. So that's unnatural. The pineal gland makes melanin. The best place.
No, I'm saying, so you will find people, for example, when they have hormonal imbalance, you'll find that even their mood is erratic. They become angry very quick. Their mood is also erratic. You cannot be able to predict their mood.
You're smart. You just explained the European.
They will be like that.
Their behavior is erratic. They get mad very quickly.
Yeah. So
you just explained it. You got it.
Yeah.
You got it.
So this is how I would understand it to be. Dexter, so you saying my birthday is the day before Valentine's, I turned 44 on the 44th day of the year. That's alignment. I do see numbers there also aligning, and the pineal gland has the same components of the eyeball, hence the third eye.
Exactly.
Yeah, the pineal gland regulates the sleep cycles.
The axis spikes is the first eye, because before we became physical, that was the eye we had when we're a spirit being. It's actually the first eye that white people call the all-seeing eye, because we can see interdimensional. That's why the African is so special. But doesn't know none of this no more. But you got it, Spike. That's why they're so erratic. They have a calcified pineal gland. You got it.
Yeah, that is what it is. So
that's why it's so wicked, so evil.
So you're saying it's a third eye. Tell me about the second eye. I do not know of the second eye. I just know of this first eye and the pineal gland, which you say is the third eye. What is the second eye? Is the second eye the eyes of your heart? Anyhow, family.
I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But they call it the third eye because you got two eyes, and that's be the third eye. Because you see, it's a real eye. See, I want you to understand scientifically. Scientifically, the pineal gland is an eye, but it's a real eye that goes to other dimensions, family. These are facts of science. I know who be rich doctor hopping up and down, cutting chickens and shit, or doing your juju and all that dumb shit.
So if it helps, if these are melanin helps people get into other dimensions, and theirs is calcified, so it means for them they cannot go interdimensionally. Without like you make the deduction, they cannot.
They can't raise the vibration. Another dimension means what? You raise in vibration, going back towards God.
So I was having a down moment there. Your skin down spike. That shit was self-explanatory. Yes, it is. I was having a down moment there. But yes, the second eye, these are the second eye and the third eye. But yes, I would say the melanin would help people go interdimensionally. The third eye, then it means that, for white people, they are stuck in this dimension. And I will not be going into any other dimension.
That means you're interdimensional, Spike. That's not scientifically means spikes. You are interdimensional. Joby's interdimensional. Katie's interdimensional. These are scientific facts. Not my opinion. And now you're scared of that. The white man told that's evil because he can't do it. He said that's evil now. And it's the Illuminati. And I'm scared.
I think what
and Katie's friend said, Katie, have you joined the Illuminati? You moron.
No, I was saying that, I even actually forgot that point. What was I saying? When it comes to moving interdimensionally, I bet that the Muzungu would have you do things or even do things on their behalf, because we as a black people can be able to do things that they cannot. So the Muzungu would actually coerce people or make people do things even when you're not knowing subconsciously. They might make you do things subconsciously, and you're doing it on their behalf, or you're doing it for their own benefit. That is how they would do it, because they know that they themselves are lacking these elements.
Of course, because they study this and know it. You've been dumbed down now. And don't know it. They bring it out, quiet the room, this dream, tell me what you see. What do you mean, Mzungu? Just tell me what you see, dumb African nigga. Just tell me, close your eyes, meditate, tell me what you see.
And maybe perhaps, like they do with those science, like on the science fiction movies, when they get to map your brain, they will be able even to see you much more when they get to map your brain and see how the signals.
That's why the African is the best scientist, right? That's why most inventions on this planet were created by black people, the majority, and then stolen by white people. Because you can look, everything starts from the unseen, from a thought, and brought down to the physical. Everything is interdimensional, brought from the unseen down to the seen. So since you can see the unseen, and you got the best, you are the best creative mind, that means you're the best inventor.
For me,
that you heard about them Zungus. Them Zungu is smart. Them Zungu is wise. Them Zungu is whether I had a second dick. I like to know how you going. Whatever.
The thing is that when it comes to, I would say like Dr. Laila Africa said, Dr. Laila Africa said that melanin is the only thing to study. In chemistry, melanin is the only thing to study. If you're not studying melanin or do not understand melanin, then you're all out there. He said it. He said that it's the study of melanin. You know, chemistry, how to study.
They changed the name. Yeah. They changed the name of black people. Remember when they go study melanin? They have melanin conferences every 2 years, and they never invite nobody black. And they studying you. They don't like nobody black, Spikes.
They never allowed anyone black to go, but
they study your ass.
Just like they did not have anyone.
That's right.
Yeah. It's just like they did not have anyone attending the Berlin conference. No black person was invited to the Berlin conference, and also for these Berlin conference, they were not invited.
Right, then I go like those Negroes that by they carving up Africa for them. Hey, nigga, we carving up Africa. Remember they tried to do the assaulting of Zanzibar, the black guy.
Yeah.
He said, I want to go to the conference. They said, no, nigga, you don't got no power. We're going to come take the country anyway. What are you talking about? You're not invited.
They knew that if he was to go there, he would come back and give the whole plan to the African, and maybe they would have a way of opposing that particular conquest of the continent.
Only the African could have stopped them, even if he knew Spike. There were two dividers, too many tribes. You have too much tribal culture going on. You were not united. So you couldn't stand as an African. That's why Africa was able to hold out so many years, because it was united. As it came too many goofy tribes, you couldn't protect the people from going to slavery. You was getting attacked by the white air from the east, the white shit. African people. You can't fight against other African people. You got real enemies. You gotta put down your petty differences. You're the same people. I don't care how ironically dumb you are. You are the same people. Sorry. I don't give a fuck if you don't like it. Genetically, you're the same people. You're the same as a little Nigerian girl in Nigeria, little South African girl, South Africa, a little Ghanaian girl. You're the fucking same. Sorry.
They are stuck, as we have been for all those years. And for example, when it comes to studying America,
you're scared of yourself, right? How can you learn yourself when you're scared of yourself, right? All this stuff I just taught you scares the African. African is like, let me teach you something. All those superhero movies you now see from Marvel and all that shit? Yeah. That came from the white man studying you. All those superheroes are white people, that's you. Stan Smith studied Kemet culture and everything you can do. Superheroes you see are white, run around flying and all that shit. That's you, stupid.
The superheroes, we do have our Superman.
That's you.
Yeah. We do have our Superman doing all these things, and people just thinking it's cartoon or thinking it's because in most cases they have also been rendered in a cartoon form. So people as young, when you're younger and you're watching all those young,
that's you.
Those small cartoons.
Yeah, but they made them white Spike. They made them white. They took your culture and made them white, and then they sell it back to you as superheroes. That's you, moron. That's your culture, and you don't even know it. That way, look at the Marvel, Iron Man, and all that. That's all your shit.
But
all of it.
When it comes to our people, I think we have also failed because we failed to tell our
and everybody in Africa has been indoctrinated with religion. They tell Joe B. Kennedy, you're stop your witchcraft talking, you black bitches, you witches.
The only
Stop your shit.
So you're saying, I know the science has a suffix of chemistry. All the rest is ology, meaning they only study us in the field of science. So you're saying all the science has a suffix of chemistry, which is all the rest of these geology, biology, and other different things that use ology. And you're saying meaning they only study us in the field of science. Yes, and also you, like we were saying, even the elements on the periodic table, they are just a variation. That was Keith saying that even all the elements on the periodic table, they are just a variation of one, and but they put them, they just different spectrum or different frequency. That is why they also get to study them. But yes, this is the study of chem, or the study of ancient comets, and also the study of
chemistry.
Chemistry. Study of black. Yeah.
Chemistry is the study of blackness. Study of the black woman, black man. Study of because they knew that you were a devolved god. Study of the black woman and the black man. Chemistry is the study of blackness, melanin.
Study of chem, the study of chem, and which is the land of the black or black. And I said it about Stanley. Yeah. That is also he's saying. I say that about Stanley. He went and did a whole lot of what can I say? Is it plagiarism? You know, take a whole story, not even plagiarism, just taking a whole story and converting it to his own purpose to suit.
They said they plagiarism. They can fucking we're gonna steal it and all. They don't play. But African people, they don't plagiarize. They steal your culture, say it's them. They steal your story, say it's them. Because the Africans is now stupid, right? So if you don't know it, you don't know what you're looking at. You don't know you're looking at you. You're now stupid. You don't know nothing about your culture. People told you evil like Joby when we said Joby actually evil. They were my ancestors were wicked and evil.
That is how it has been said, and nothing is really talked about. You know, if you go to school books or if you look at the curriculum and look at how much of teaching is done over the matter of melanin, you will find maybe a page or 2 pages. You will not find in the education maybe for school children.
I don't think you find nothing. I never learned shit about no melanin or east side class I was ever in.
It's mentioned by way of passing. I have seen it in books here. It's mentioned by way of passing, so it's like just any other.
Okay.
Yeah, it's mentioned by way of passing, just like an A or B, just like any other matter on that page. Like maybe a page or 2 pages at most, and that's that. The rest of it you can go figure on your own. But anyhow, family, we're winding up on today's episode of
Let's Love Family, great show. If the Africans gotta know him and herself. We're very special people. You're very, even though you're morons now, you're still very special people.
Being a moronica for a minute does not really still take out of our melanin. But anyhow, family, we are winding up with this particular broadcast. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much. Even as you might be we will be celebrating your birthday. For Sister Michelle, Asante Sana, for the wonderful Sister Lightbearer, thank you so much. We hope to catch you on the next episode. For now, we shall be winding up with this particular jam, and we were jamming to it a little bit earlier by Whiskey, and we do say kwaherini.
Have a lovely weekend.
Let me see this jamming.